Hello and welcome to Clear Skies Perseverance, the Cisco Day. We are very excited to celebrate the Cisco Day with you all. I hope you've been tuning into our dear friends at the Seventh Rule podcast, Sirach Lofton and Ryan Husk and Melissa Longo. They have been putting on a fabulous event all day honoring Ben Cisco. So if you haven't already, check it out after our stream, of course. They've had a full day of events that you can probably watch on VOD, I believe. I'll double check and retweet it later if that's true. But in the meantime, we have some other announcements today. Not many, though. I will say that, as always, we're going to drop our affiliate link with Modifius in the chat. So, in honor of the Cisco Day, if you haven't already picked up the Gamma Quadrant book, today would be a good day to do that because it's the Cisco Day. Use our affiliate link. Also, the Lower Decks Crew Pack and Mission PDF is still up there. And of course, lots of other wonderful Star Trek Adventures products and many other things that Modifius also has out there in the world. And I think my only other announcement is, hey, Aux Crew, what's up? I haven't said hi to Aux Crew in a while, so I'm so sorry. We appreciate you. We love you. We're grateful for you. If you'd like to become a member of the Aux Crew and you haven't already, go to our coffee, ko-fi.com/streampunks, and give us the support. At the $10 and up level, you get some additional content in addition to what we're doing here. We also do Discord content just for subscribers at that level and above. So check that out, ko-fi.com/streampunks. And now, before we go into cast announcements, Eric, what's the word with STO?
Yeah, so Star Trek Online, of course, as you guys might have heard, the Unraveled event is still happening over there right now. I am currently plugging my way through that to get all my Tholian equipment set up and good to go because I'm kind of crazy about Tholians. I love them so much. Tholian's great. It's great, great, great. Almost played a Tholian for this game. Aliza actually was just like, sure, you can roll up a Tholian. Right. I was like, oh, no, I was kidding. I was kidding. I was actually going to do that. But fun fact, if you want to jump in and play some Star Trek Online, something really cool has happened over there. The folks over at Star Trek Online teamed up with some very good friends of ours, very dear friends of ours. One, Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly have written a Star Trek comic in which, and Jody Hauser as well, who actually got to write some of the dialogue for this wonderful, beautiful character that they all helped put together. But there is a character called Bright Eyes that makes an appearance in the new expansion for the new content that's come out for Star Trek. So definitely go check it out because Bright Eyes, you get to talk to Bright Eyes. It's really awesome. So if you haven't read the Year One comics yet, definitely check it out. The other thing that I have to announce tonight is obviously as a Bajoran, it is the Cisco Day. So everyone praise the emissary. Thank you very much. And the other thing too is. This is we're going to go ahead and announce this tonight, but for those of you who did not know, this is the penultimate episode for Clear Skies Perseverance. So we're ready to announce now that when Clear Skies Perseverance wraps, not tonight, but after next Monday, Beacon, our Aliens RPG live play will be returning, and all of the happiness and love and death and darkness that Sam has missed so much. It's going to be back in our lives. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about that. And also Sam and I and I'm going to double dose this because Sam is such a sport. I'm going to be dragging Sam into a Alien Colonial Marines game that we're going to be hosting on the Demiplane platform. Yeah.
What?
Before Beacon launches. And so if you want to come play with me and Sam, details will be coming up about that on Twitter and stuff. So stay tuned as more details comes in. And
make mistakes with me, I guess.
Yeah, we're just gonna.
Season 2 is a mistake, Eric.
Yeah, because I got the impression that Sam hadn't gotten over Alien yet, and I was like, okay, Sam, for you,
Not
I'll
like
run
that.
Some more.
When I say I hadn't gotten over Alien, I didn't mean like.
So yeah, that's all the announcements I've got for tonight.
Lovely, lovely. All right. Any cast announcements?
I just got one thing.
Yes.
For the coffee game for Stream Punks, I just thought it apropos to mention that we may have seen a certain captain whose day it is today, and if you would like to see what's going on with the Cisco after DS9, because we haven't gotten too terribly much about that, then please support Stream Punks so you can see what shenanigans he's got these characters into.
Yes, and I should also mention, I forgot to mention before, you do have access to VODs of past episodes, so you could catch up on Noir's Star Trek adventure story by joining up with our Discord and our coffee. Thank you very much, Noir. Any other cast announcements? Kaitlin?
If you have not checked it out yet, you should check out over on the Q Times YouTube channel, The Cases of Costa Vega, which is a kind of episodic Blue Skies mystery adventure RPG game that we're playing a system that I made, which is very cool and very exciting. Our last episode, we had one Sandalev in playing my cousin Wright. It was a delight, and we have 3 episodes left of the season. The 2 we were just recorded are very, very good, and I hope you'll check it out. It's a very good time. And also, my other announcement is that it was Janeway's birthday 2 days ago, so happy birthday, Captain Janeway. As according to the Year of Hell episode where Chakotay gives her a necklace or something. Or whatever. May 20th. It's been in my calendar for several years.
Oh my god. Word.
So happy birthday, Captain Janeway.
Word. Happy birthday, Janeway. Actually, I will chime in here and say that welcome to the Blood Bar. There's 2 chapters. I swear to God, I promise you, they're coming. They're with the editors. It's out of my hands when they get published. That's why I keep saying it's coming soon tonight. I promise you, I'm not just pulling your chain, yanking your chain. So do me a favor, because it's not in my control when they get published, but they will be published like very soon. Go to storyloom.com and the link to Welcome to the Blood Bar and bookmark the story, because that way you will have it in your library so that when you open up storyloom.com again and sign in, it will just be right there and you'll see it and you won't have to click around too much. So if you bookmark it, that will help you find the new chapters and any other chapters that you have yet to read through. I'm very excited because these 2 chapters, oh my god. Okay. Juicy intergenerational vampire drama. Okay. All right. So that's what's happening. And I don't think I personally have any other. I don't know. Brain is a little fried right now. Any other cast announcements? Sam?
How come every time I go on a road trip, I gotta get up and move around every few hours, and bears don't have to move at all for the whole ding dang winter? These are the real questions. If you want to get answers to what you, the people, need to know, you gotta check out the Science, my friends. I have a show every Tuesday morning called Morning People, where I talk about a newly published finding in Science, but I acknowledge not everyone is a morning people, and so for that, we have the YouTube where I clip that bit out, and then you can access it whenever, and there is Bear Science up there now. It's great. And cardiopulmonary strengtheners make no sense, and this is the elevated geographical feature upon which I will expire. Let's go. I'm excited.
All right. And with that, I believe we are ready to begin the penultimate episode of Clear Skies Perseverance Season 1. Mike, let's build. previously on Clear Skies Perseverance, we found out that a dead body had shown up just outside the confines of the Utopia Planitia Starfleet Federation shipyard. This obviously caused some alarm bells to go up within the command division, with Veluth getting a message about potentially doing a lockdown. But what was most alarming about this corpse being found on a sandy hillside in a hiking area was the species it belongs to. And that species is called the Heralds. The Heralds, who were genetically engineered by the Iconians. The Iconians, who were this massively powerful ancient alien race who were intent on taking over the quadrant 4-ish years ago and have not been seen since they left and conceded and ended their war. Why are their heralds here? Why is this dead one, recently dead within the past, I believe we determined through sciencing, 6 months or so? There are many, many questions still to be answered. But for now, it's morning. It's time for breakfast. And on a typical workday, some folks might get their breakfast from the replicator. But this day, I just want to focus on who goes to the dining hall this morning. And what do you get? And who are you with? Are you alone? Are you with someone? Are you there to meet someone, to find someone to have a certain chat with? Who would like to enter this Utopia Planitia dining hall?
All right, Veluth will be there with Kamanuk real close by his side.
Mm-hmm.
2 pads in his hands, very walking, talking, very busy looking.
Mm-hmm.
Just going to get, bacon and grits, sweet grits.
Ooh, you evil. Saying it straight to camera, too.
No, we do not grit shame. Sometimes,
No.
Sometimes grits are cinnamon and sugar, and sometimes they are shrimp and cheese. We do not grit shame.
No, I agree. I'm just saying that look to camera. They knew what they were doing with that look to camera.
They knew what they were
That's
doing.
all I'm saying.
You're right. They knew what they were doing. Chaos. You was trying to
Chaos.
cause chaos.
Exactly. So yes, you get your bacon and grits, sweet grits from the replicator. Kamanuk follows behind you with the 2 pads and is going through your schedule. And so I just want to make sure you know that you have this meeting at 2 p.m., but I can move it. And also, Commander, you never did call for the lockdown. Are you sure you don't want to call for the lockdown that was suggested in that message?
Once I meet with the staff and we discuss our findings, we'll make an appropriate decision. I do believe Starfleet is being rather rash. But before we settle on anything, I want the opinion of the team.
I will reply to that because you are getting lots of replies and people asking you why you have not called for the lockdown. I will reply right now. And he starts typing onto the pad a response to the security team.
Good morning, Commander. Is the seat taken?
No. You may have this seat.
Thank you. Good morning, Commander. I have a pad. It has some equation scribbles on top of just the pad. There is no plate. On top of the pad is a double chocolate muffin and strawberry lemonade. Because I can.
Veluth has just already put the plate to the side. Do you have the report that I requested?
It should be in your messages, Commander.
Thank you. I was just going to go through and take a quick look. This seems This seems good enough. Apologies. This is well done.
Commander, is this a report that I should know about, and should I file it?
Send it to Starfleet immediately. This is what we're requesting for a requisition. Hopefully, all things considered, they let us go on a rescue mission to search for any stranded, and we can then lock out once we've returned. If they deny it, then we have no other option than to adhere to their instructions.
Yes, Commander. He takes your pad, transfers that message, and sends it off.
Well, I should be returning to my office.
Oh, but you've barely touched your... Oh, I remember what those are. Don't remind me. Okay, I don't. What are they?
It's something that my father used to make.
Gruel?
Grits. No, it's...
Oh, grits.
Grits and turkey bacon.
Turkey. I make a little note on my pad, like I'm going to investigate this later. Could I try some? The grit.
Please. I find that I've lost my appetite this morning.
Oh. Well, do see the doctor if you need.
I feel that once I respond to the multitude of messages that I have waiting for me, that I shall be fine. It's simply, I suppose, the understanding of the amount of work that I have to do today that has caused me pause.
Heavy as the neck that wears 3 pips.
You both notice Kamanuk is looking between you two very skeptically.
I guess at that point, Veevee walks in, still dealing with having been on hallucinogens, which is totally fine and cool in my culture, and goes up and looks and is like, y'all don't have liver. That's cool. No, we're good. We're good. And so Veevee looks for like some version of, there's like a sausage that we like, so Veevee's like going to go look for it, but also Veevee's from Earth, so Veevee's like, oh, sweet grits. I've heard of these, and like puts some sweet grits on her plate because she can't find like the, synthesized lemur livers that are a thing that a lot of her folks eat. But she's like, no, sweet grits. I grew up on sweet grits, and so she grabs the sweet grits and like moves them over to, and does the thing when you're in a cafeteria where you kind of look for your friends, but you're like hungover.
So if Faloof sees you come over, especially with the sweet grits thing, there's going to be an immediate, I really do need to go. There's quite a bit of work to be done. And you're not, like, sensing, like, you have to actively sense things, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I have to roll for it. No,
okay.
Aliza will not let me do that for free. So okay. I have to walk over and put him down and be like, hey, and just like kind of got the sweet grits with with an over easy egg on top, which for everyone is not ideal. There's really no culture where you can have sweet grits with like a fried egg on top.
That's absolutely upsetting.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Hey, sit down. Join us.
It's lovely to see you. I should really...
Oh, surely you have a moment.
Commander, I can take your pads back to your office and get things ready for your first meeting of the day.
Oh, that's so kind of you, Kamanuk. Thank you for taking such good care of him. All right, there you are.
And Kamanuk scoops up the pads and exits the dining hall.
As Veevee starts eating a thing you would only see on TikTok, just starts like the yolk starts like blending in with like the sweet grits and
Everyone's so creative.
everybody's so creative. Oh, you just took the egg and you put it on top of the grits and you made them sweet. Oh, look at you. But Veevee just starts kind of eating it. Well, because y'all didn't have the lemurs that I wanted, and so because that's like kind of one of my hangover meals, and so I just sit down but Veevee Veevee kind of senses that like it's inappropriate to talk about what just happened in our bonding. So Veevee sits down and Vivi's like, "Hey, sweet grits, right? It's like a
They're really quite sweet. I love it.
right? It's like really good. You should try it with some of the yolk on top, and sometimes I add cheese.
Oh,
Usually
really?
I add like a synthetic lemur liver, but they didn't. We're doing like a communal thing, so I can't get it the way that I usually do from.
Does it have to be synthetic? I could culture some.
I would love that, as long as no lemurs are harmed.
Oh, the things one can culture these days.
This has been an enlightening conversation.
Hey,
Sits back down. Yes.
hi. How have you been enjoying the games and everything so far?
The games were a wonderful distraction from the responsibilities that I have here as commander. I long for those days, even though they have only just ended, but we have work to do to maintain the pristine of Starfleet. And so I am eager, even though I find myself somewhat reluctant, to get back to the good work of salvaging, repairing, and creating ships for the Federation.
Yeah, totally. And then as soon as Valuth starts trying to stand up again. Okay, but like I just wanted to say, because we get very few opportunities for all of us to eat together. Usually we only hang out during book club, so I think it's really nice to have you here amongst all of us, hanging out and eating with us.
Well, there are so many of our team, essential members of our team that are not here. Perhaps I should go to the office and send a request for everyone to.
Oh no, there's one.
Who's it gonna be? Who's gonna take it?
I'm so sorry to disappoint you, but Kaz is eating the replicator in her room this morning.
Yeah, Kaz is having a
Wah,
day.
wah.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I don't see who you're talking about.
I guess but there are other people on our team who I guess get a lot of opportunities to talk to. We just kind of walk by them while we're talking. It seems kind of rude that we don't get to talk to them now.
Well, I know that the person that I work with most directly is Kamanook, and we talk all the time. I find that he is one of my closest confidants and allies. Do you not speak with the people in your department?
Oh, I speak with everyone all the time. We have like little get-togethers. We have like little tea sessions where we have like parties where we like drink a bunch of tea and hang out. But also
Slurping the strawberry lemonade for a moment there.
But also, hey, I just an aside conversation. Thank you for sharing so much of you the last time we talked. And no, we don't have to talk about it. It doesn't have to be a thing. But thank you for opening up. I appreciated getting a chance to get to know you better.
I appreciate the sentiment, but I did not let you in as much as the door was open and you found your way inside the premises. I do believe that there has been some positive changes from this slight, though not entirely unwelcomed intrusion.
Oh. I apologize. I didn't mean to. With my empathy, I can only do it if people want me to, is my understanding, but I might be wrong. If that was if I caused you any undue stress and that was not from your consent, I dearly apologize.
Apology accepted, and I agree with your earlier sentiments of, I believe the quote was not making this a thing and having no need to speak upon it any further.
Mm-hmm. I think that is fantastic, and also I think that you're maybe you don't go back to your cabin just yet.
There is much work to be done, and while I do take your consultation into consideration, I believe you have shown yourself to be more than a capable member of the Federation. There cannot be any further delay in giving Starfleet a decision on whether we will lock down or whether we will initiate this rescue mission.
Yes, absolutely. Also, I might have accidentally put a bunch of off-white curtains in your cabin, and I apologize. Sorry. I overstepped.
It is just decoration. It is of little consequence. I will not find my day disturbed by cosmetic changes.
Well, they haven't been changed. I just laid them out on your bed, flat, and then I put them in a frame so that if you happen to want to write on them or do anything with them, you can. But that's on you. And she just starts housing food. Oh, sweet grits.
A pleasure, as always.
Oh, Commander, before you go.
Yes, Ty.
Is this a turkey?
No, I believe that this is a vegan substitute that is modeled to taste like a turkey.
They flip the pad around and show you a turkey picture.
Oh, that is... I suppose with enough creativity, one can conjure a turkey from that image.
We'll have to let the database know. I admit, I don't see how one gets to A from B, but I will continue research. Oh, you should get to your office, Commander. My goodness, what time is it?
Yes, I'm aware that I am running behind. Lovely to speak with you as always. If you need anything, please contact Kamanook.
Bolts out of the dining hall.
Tormented.
Walk into these goddamn curtains.
They're canvases.
No. These monsters out here trying to support the artist, trying foods that he likes. I mean, honestly, what jerks?
Yes. So yeah, I immediately slip away and hide. There might be one, and then it just carries.
Hey, Doc.
Hey.
Have you had sweet grits before?
Not until today, but I'm enjoying them. Can I try yours with the egg and cheese thing?
Absolutely.
I'll just get a little fork. Yep. Yeah. Just have a nice little morning hangout.
Oh no, Hank. Little brunchy brunch before things get serious.
Exactly. I'm having a lovely morning after all.
At this moment, I'm going to ask, Tovaa, you've told us you're in your quarters.
She ate in her quarters this morning. She has a bunch of she's been pulling up research from past hosts. Is what she's been doing this morning. She's already a morning person, so she was up and then normally goes to the dining hall to be around people and just was not up for it. So she just has a kind of a hollow screen up and is pulling up old research from old hosts.
Great. Yeah, as you're flipping through those, I'm going to ask very quickly, Rylem, where are you at this point in the morning? Just want to hear where you are and what you're doing.
By this time in the morning, he's already in the laboratories, the propulsion laboratories, running tests and just
I actually wanted to find Rylem.
Oh, great. Oh. Okay. Well, hold that thought because a couple things.
Yeah, it doesn't need to happen right now, but yeah.
Rylem, you and a section of your team, nope, I'm going to take that back. Next door to the warp propulsion lab is operations and power systems. And you two work very closely together, those departments. You would have heard word by now that there was this herald, the corpse found, and as part of its belongings, there was some type of device that was completely powered down, dead, battery, no power in it. And it's over in ops being worked up and seeing if they can turn it back on.
Herald technology?
Yes, it appears to be so. It was found on this body. So hold that thought, though, because you all, wherever you are right now, Veluth heading back to your office, Ty and Veevee in the dining hall, you all are getting an incoming subspace recorded message from one Lieutenant Koi Chang Lee. And Mike, if you could play that for us.
Ah, hey.
Hi, Utopia Planitia.
Might take a minute, subspace from Earth to Mars. Even though it's close, it sometimes...
I'm sorry I haven't responded back more. It's just been so busy interviewing the Selkies and really just taking in their lifestyle. From Hong Kong, I've been from here all across the Pacific Ocean.
Y'all, I cried. She's brilliant. Jada's brilliant.
Every single time I say that. Toy is my guide and just such a wonderful friend.
Can't see it either on.
She's taught me so much about
on our video ninja.
Or here, and she is the best dancer you've ever seen. I mean, when you see her start pirouetting.
If y'all want to open the Twitch stream and watch it, you can do that. There's subtitles too if you want to keep it on. Okay.
I've seen her do on dry land too. And it's
not here, but also I'll just watch it on Twitch.
If you haven't been to a Selkie party, you don't know what you're missing.
It's all right.
No, it's okay.
The dancing, the
it's all right.
Sometimes when you're down there, you look up and you can just see all these lights fading through the water.
Oh, my sweet baby.
It's like jeweled, and I love it. It's so fun. It's been so eye-opening to see just how they live. And without this experience, I don't think I could have built as good quarters for them as, well, hopefully I will. Speaking of which, I have some specs attached to this message that I'm hoping that we can start to employ. It's funny. I've been working in my office, and every single time someone would come in or out, there would just be a flood of water. I actually had to install force fields in order to keep most things dry or most wet. I started just working all the time in a wetsuit, which didn't have pockets. I had to have them sewn in so I could keep snacks on me. It's difficult to eat snacks underwater, but not impossible. It's mostly timing. You just have to take a wedge of cheese, shove it in your mouth, push out the water, and then just savor it, without letting too many particles dissipate. It's a skill you learn, Oh, speaking of which, they would like to have a completely underwater recreational center and lounge, which totally makes sense. If you think about it, they have a more three-dimensional plan that they can implement instead of just 2D like us dry walkers are used to. I'm really excited, and I think we can test some new things back on Utopia Planitia once I get back. but I think we have some really great starting material. Oh, speaking of which, I've been doing some interviews with the holographic members as well, and they really like to have as many holomitters around the ship as possible, which totally makes sense from an accessibility perspective. I mean, can you imagine trying to exit a room and just not being able to get out? It drives me nuts. So I'm thinking at least one holomitter per corridor, if not two, and maybe some portable ones by the lift as well, just so that everyone can get around if they need to. But that's neither here nor there. It's all in the specs. Time for a little bit of personal note from me. It's been wonderful being with my family. I miss them all so much. But you know, sometimes your family can drive you crazy. But in a good way. At the same time, you know, when I was on Mars, I just thought about home and how much I missed everyone, but now that I'm here, all I can think about is the book club and sleepovers with Tovaa and teasing the Leve and just having a great time with everyone. I just miss you all so much. You know what they say, the seaweed is always greener. But I do miss you. But everything's wrapping up and I'll be back soon. I'm just so glad that I had the time here to meet everyone and see what life was like. Could you imagine traveling across stars and sky without the creature comforts of home? Terrible. But to be able to bring the heart of the ocean with you, it feels good to be doing this work. Oh, look, Tway even gave me this. Her sea dragon had a clutch of eggs and she gave me one of the hatchlings. It's right here, right now. Small, but she said in a few years it'll grow to be big as in whale and just a terror in the ocean. Isn't that exciting? I can't wait, so you just keep growing. Well, I guess that's enough updates from me. I'll be signing off, but I can't wait to be back. I miss you all. Lieutenant Koi Chang Lee, out.
So you all receive this message, and with it is attached specs, as Lieutenant Koi Chang Lee promised, specs for each of your departments for all of the research she's been gathering for these aquatic and holographic crew members. So they all get sent to your inboxes. And I will say, once you all are back at your stations and working on the shipbuilding part of our campaign, you will all receive a special momentum for the purpose of rolling on our work project. That is courtesy of Lieutenant Koi Chang Lee's research.
We miss you, Koi.
We miss you, Koi.
As design team watches this together, Veevee, could we just have the little head touch watching it together from design team?
There's a movie and a song from Earth. I don't know how many of you have really spent a lot of time there, when they have a whole song about the sea and under the sea and how good it is under the sea. And
Oh, that sounds
stuff.
lovely.
It is lovely. I miss her, but very grateful that all of that was sent, and now I'm gonna go look at fish and imagine more ways that I can make and incorporate fish into our designs.
Go make Koi proud.
I am. Thank you.
Every day.
Thanks, Doc.
Grit.
All right. With that,
as punctuation.
With that, now, yes, let's transition back to the propulsion lab. And I believe Tovaa Kaz is just arriving. Yes? Okay.
Yeah, what's Rylem up to?
What's that? Sorry?
What's Rylem up to when she walks in?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's literally just with incredible precision and speed is just tapping away on a data pad in front of him and running simulations on a hologram that's in front of him while some of the crew members are just moving around and just calling out, of course, technobabble. Try adjusting it by 0.4. No, that didn't do it.
Yep, got it. 0.4.
0.4 is the wrong way. I'm not being very intuitive right now.
Okay. Negative 0.4?
Why not?
Okay. How's that?
It functions.
Can I? I want to try something. I want to use my joined talent.
Ooh.
Which is the thing I actually came here to. Some of the research that she brought in was to be helpful with the new Ross build. And she is drawing upon one Benway Kaz, her previous host, who was the leading expert in theoretical warp field mechanics at the time. I want to see if she can look at what they're doing and propose something using my joint talent. You have a symbiont with lifetimes of memories to draw upon. Once per mission, you may declare that a former host had an expertise in a relevant skill or field of study. So, see if I can roll on. That.
Absolutely.
So she walks in, looks and see if she can pull something out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say difficulty 2 and insight engineering.
Excellent.
And of course, you get that. Is it a special focus?
So it gives me a focus.
Right. Okay. Great.
For this task or for the scene.
Awesome.
Sorry, can you say the roll again?
Yep. Difficulty 2, insight engineering.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Ooh,
That sounded so musical.
Was my metal dice. That was so loud. I'm so sorry.
It sounded like guitar strings when you kind of like tap them. Boom.
Well, my mic stand has springs on it.
Ah.
I got 2 exactly.
All right. Those 2 successes. Yeah, you kind of see what they're trying to tweak. And
you just throw out a number is basically.
Yeah.
Try plus 5.2.
Oh.
Rylem stops and turns and looks at you and gives you a rather cold stare for a long moment. And then he'll turn to the woman to his left and say, 5.52.
Okay. How's that?
He goes and looks over at the console and says, not enough, but it's actually moving in the right direction now. I should have gone past 0.4. I wasn't giving it enough juices. Modify the master spatial displacement manifold.
On it.
0.52.
On it.
And he turns back and looks at you.
Sorry, that was rude of me.
What was rude of you?
Didn't even say hi. Hi.
Hello?
I, not totally what I came here for, but I guess a little bit. I've been, trying to keep busy and figure out how I can be most useful with the Richie kind of like walks in, she has a couple of pads in her hand, trying to be most useful with the Ross build, with the new one, if I could be useful with the fun one.
That is our assignment, so I'm pleased to hear that.
Yeah, I have some stuff, and she kind of just passes you a couple of pads, and on them you would see some of the research of Benway Kaz, who I talked about this with Aliza. You might actually recognize his name because he gave a couple of lectures at the Daystrom Institute.
Okay.
And this was her previous host, but he was at the time the leading expert in
that
theoretical
raises an
mechanics.
eyebrow. He goes, your previous host?
Benway Kaz, yeah. I figured he might be helpful here.
You figured he might be helpful here.
Yeah.
Did you say Benway Kaz?
Mm-hmm.
The Benway Kaz?
Yes. I don't know if there's another one.
Lieutenant, would you excuse us for a minute? I'm going to say to one of my assistants, and be like, can you give me some space for a moment, please?
Yes. I'll just keep working on this. Okay.
He temples his fingers for a moment, just steeples for us. previous host, is this knowledge that administration has known about this whole time?
I don't know why they wouldn't, so yes, I would
I only
say.
ask because you primarily tear things apart and
Yes.
make very charming, self-deprecating jokes.
Yeah.
That's all I've known you be able to do, aside from being an extraordinarily good listener and maybe one of the few friends I have in this universe. And these are all very valuable talents and very valuable traits. Your previous host, whose knowledge of which you are privy to, was one of the leading minds in transwarp theoretical physics. And no one told me.
Oh, it's the name is usually the you know. We don't really usually we don't change our names. But it's just was that
Lieutenant,
yeah.
Lieutenant, just so you don't get surprised by this, I will be putting in a request this afternoon that you be transferred to my department within the next 24 hours until the completion of the Ross project.
Oh, that's okay, that's very cool. Quick, you know, sidebar, sort of tangentially related. You know, that was, that was Benway's life. I contain the knowledge.
You're talking to an XB, Lieutenant.
Yes, I know, that's what I'm saying. The reason I'm in salvage is because I'm Tovaa now.
Is that the end of that sentence?
Yeah, just like that's why you were wondering why I was there. Because that's what that's what I do. That's why I was there. That's the answer to that question. I would love to work on the newer. I've been hoping actually to get involved with stuff, but it's been a lot's been happening. So I figured I would just bring you some of these because I thought I could offer some help. I still like, pulling things apart and.
Well, then let me revise what I've said.
Okay.
Before I put in any kind of transfer without asking any of your permission. Truth is it is from a former life. So, would you like to transfer here and help me with these projects?
I will.
Jenny, you can tell me no. I'm not a ranking officer in Starfleet. I could try to accommodate you. Maybe once or twice a week, you could come in and we could go over notes. And if anything jumps out at you.
I'd like that. I want to stay in salvage.
I had a feeling.
I like that there. I like it there.
I had a feeling.
But I would like to help here, too.
I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you for asking.
Has anyone in your time as a joined Trill and in any of the lives that you have lived, has anyone ever dismissed you for the knowledge that you carry as a joined Trill? Like it was unearned?
I think I might be the only one who thinks that of me, if I'm being perfectly honest. It's something that I'm working on.
Let me know when you figure it out.
I'll add it to the list.
Something else I use you for notes and going over things.
Be happy to compare on a scientifically or something.
Well, for whatever reason you may have walked in here, thank you for solving a problem that has been plaguing me for the past 16 hours.
Well, I definitely didn't get it all the way, but it just, I don't know, sometimes it's one of those things where just, I'm sure you have something similar where something just kind of like, it's the forefront, you recognize, yeah, but I figured I'd just, offer help.
You did good.
Thank you.
Thanks. Anything else?
Well, no, that was kind of it. I didn't really have a plan besides bringing you these, and she kind of gestures at the beds. But yeah, I've got a couple of other people, and she kind of like gestures as in past tense, but then also like then moves to like her stomach where the symbiont would be is like, you get it. There's, a lot of people who are into building and ship stuff. I landed on the destruction of ships part, but there's a lot of builders.
Pulling things apart's incredibly gratifying. One of the things that I do to relax is I like to watch some of the drones pull things apart.
It's a good time.
Things that yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. I could show you how to use the we got some new tools in where you kind of like laser pieces apart and then it kind of like holds them and pull. You don't even have to touch it. You just have like controls. I can show you sometime. It's kind of cool. Anyways, I can let you get back to work. I'm glad to help now and in the future.
Can I make an insight check here?
Kaitlin, are you open to that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Now, is Kaz going to be a little bit closed off and oppose it, or
No.
okay?
No, she's had a weird week. She's just kind of everything's on the surface right now.
Ah, in that case, difficulty 1.
Insight, and I'm gonna guess command is probably the way to do that.
If that's is it just kind of
It's
her
crew
general
interaction? Yeah. So yeah. There's no focus that Rylem Reon is going to have to help him insight check somebody. And I, out of curiosity,
would this be a challenge 0 difficulty because I'm not going?
No, I think if you I think it's still
if it's contested. It's 0.
No,
or 1.
yeah. If it's no,
Never
it's
mind.
just difficulty 1.
Never mind.
Difficulty 0, I think, would be. Actually, no, I don't think you. I was gonna say if you were crying or very clearly something, but even that.
This is great.
Complication.
Borg implants. As a liberated Borg character must select this talent at character creation. When the talent is chosen, pick 1, 2, or 3 Borg implants. The character gains benefits of those implants. I have 3. The character then gains benefits of those implants, but the difficulty of medicine tasks performed on the character increase by the number of implants that they have. The character also increases complication ranges of all social interaction tasks by the number of implants that they have.
Yikes!
The ordinary milestone be used to remove. Okay, so.
Well, is that to like convince? Is that like a?
Wait, so I read it.
External social.
I don't read it. I don't read it in the way that you could possibly read it. That's not great. I read it as very much of a behavioral thing, in that like after Seven was liberated from the collective, she was all kinds of spiky to everybody because everyone was so inefficient.
Yeah.
and so that's kind of like that's how I'm reading it. So
that makes sense.
So my complication range for this is going to be
17,
19. Yeah. Is it? Do I have 3?
Yeah, no.
Yes,
if you're increasing it by 3,
I have 3 implants. I have a cortical strengthener,
19,
a node,
18,
and
17.
I have a calm. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
So 17 and up will be a complication.
Here we go, and I'm rolling, and I rolled a 5.
Okay.
And a 13.
Okay. Is that 2 successes?
That's
1 success.
1 success.
All right, that's all you needed.
Okay.
What do you want to know?
So it's that long, uncomfortable stare, like he's analyzing a math problem as he's looking at you.
It's always pretty unbothered by most.
He basically wants to know if he gets the impression you're more Willow Rosenberg than normal. So he's trying to like understand, and he wants to find out is he sensing something has happened, something is wrong, something has changed.
Yeah, I would think you would definitely pick up on. She is not frantic is the wrong word, but like she seems like she's just like kind of on a motor, like, okay, I'm here to do a task, and it seems like she is like
staying one step ahead of a thought.
Yeah, exactly. Not that she's itching to get out of here, but she kind of seems like she's like the second she gets the permission to leave, she's gonna go do something else to distract her. That's kind of the vibe you're getting. Okay,
in which case he'll say, Lieutenant, I've caught on to that something isn't wrong, so you might want to leave now before I try to ask you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Unless you want to confront that discomfort. Because I get the impression you are moving to stay ahead of it.
You are one smart cookie. Rain check?
It's up to you. This door is always open to you. As is my quarters if you ever want to swing by and have a conversation.
Sounds good. I actually think there's something I maybe need to do. That is, unfortunately, not running away from the uncomfortable, but let me know when you need me on the roster, and I can chat with Gina and...
I'll coordinate with the commander and then run it by you and see when you have free time.
Thank you. Good luck with the 0.52.
It's back. He's got 3 holograms up of USS Archer, the USS Ross, and the one that's actually being dismantled right now. And he just looks back at it, and it's almost like the enormity of the task overtakes him again, and his distraction he goes, and just goes right back to working on what he's looking at.
All right. Tovaa will turn and walk, and I think she's thinking. She's on the move.
Okay. Oh, poor Tovaa.
All right. So, the day passes on. If there's anything specific you'd like to do before the midday lunch break, please let us know.
I do have a scene I'd like, but I just had one, so if anybody else has something, they should do it.
I think Veluth is just going to put in a call to the admiral that sent him the lockdown instruction.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just going to try and get in contact with him.
So it was actually the investigator, Veevee,
right,
who sent in that report recommending a lockdown. Okay, so you're going to put a call into them?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just get up their info. Oh, okay. Cool. No notes on that. All right. There, okay. Yeah, so you put in a call, and up on your screen pops a very dour, sour-looking Andorian in a yellow ops uniform. Says, Veevee here.
Hello, Veevee. This is Commander Veluth of Utopia Planitia. I wanted to reach out to you in regards to the lockdown suggestion that you recently sent. I do hope that you were able to receive a requisition sheet for an attempted rescue mission. We believe that if there is a chance that there are life forms stranded, that we should put in the effort to try and retrieve them before we go on lockdown. I was hoping that we might have a conversation on this matter.
Okay, Commander Veluth. First of all, yes, I was CC'd on that requisition. Of course, I'm not the one who can sign off on those things. I'm just the detective here. Second of all, just want to touch base with you because I did see that, and I'm glad you called me because I was going to call you. Rescue mission for potential soldiers from a war that nearly damaged our entire quadrant. Rescue mission, because in my mind, these are enemy combatants. If there's more of them, they could be lying in wait for years, waiting for us to slip up. But you want to rescue them?
I believe not extending a hand of help would be the slipping up that you refer to. We have a responsibility as the dominant power here on this planet to reach out and help any stranded, wounded, or abandoned life forms. Doing so may very well change the tide of this war that you bring to mind. Starfleet, as I recall, is about spreading common knowledge, a common sense of wonder and kindness throughout the galaxy. I will not have that stop here on my watch.
Okay, well, thank you for that Federation lecture. Noted. I just think we should go into this with all caution possible. and not assume that they need our help and that this herald was stranded? Why wouldn't it have come and turned itself in 4 years ago if it was stranded when the war ended? That's all I'm saying.
If it were stranded, how could it reach out for help?
Well, it ended up here right at our door at Utopia Planitia.
If I were stranded, I would make my way here too.
I think we're talking in circles, Commander. And also, I'm not very good at Vulcan logic. So,
then we will begin. Well, I will reach out to the ones that can approve our request, and should we get the approval, we will begin work on it, and I can assure you that the lockdown will be initiated as soon as that is over. I hope that we can find that this compromise is fitting for the both of us.
Well, I hope so, and I hope you know that I will be required to bring some of my investigative team with you on whatever mission you end up going on. Rescue or otherwise. Let's pause there. Okay, we're having some technical issues. Let's just go to our break a bit early. And we will be back once we have resolved these. Probably we'll just take a full break, 10 to 15 minutes right now. Stay tuned. We will be back with episode 11 of Clear Skies Perseverance.
The Nakul have suffered far too much. We must save their star from destruction and make things right. They are somewhat anxious about this procedure and any complications that may arise. Tholians? What are they doing here? Regardless of what they have planned, we must fulfill our duties and accomplish this mission for the greater good.
Menzo Baranzan is a prison. I am fortunate to have escaped. It is my hope that someday this place can be cast open, its citizens freed from their captor.
Loth is a demoness, a destroyer, a plague upon the world, with her loyalist scum following her ways of chaos and ruin into the depths of the abyss itself.
I think the blaspheme are righteous in their cause, and the loyalists are not. If war comes, I will be on the right side of it.
Some fear war will soon envelop Menzo Baranzan. For me, the war has already begun. Welcome, soldier, to the cause of the blaspheme.
This is Defender. We could use more armored units at City Hall, and we have wounded here.
Red Snake, you have incoming contact. Witchcraft, Ironclad, Black Mask. What's your situation?
The undead are numerous and running amok. We're falling back to 4th Station Steelhead.
Go forth, my children, and feed upon the living.
I'm just finishing up my patrol now. wrong. Things are starting to heat up.
The battle rages onward. Victory will be ours.
Calling all champions. This is a global distress call. Report to the nearest crisis zone and engage the enemy.
Meta-humans ejected. Changing targeting lock.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its continuing mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has gone before.
Hello, and welcome back to part 2 of Clear Skies Perseverance, episode 11, the penultimate episode of season 1. We're picking back up a little bit later, tiny bit later in the day, maybe an hour and a half-ish, so afternoon. And, Ty, you are in Biononos, is that correct?
I am, yes.
Okay. What's the word today? What are you working on?
Oh, I'm working on some sketches of mostly the software architecture, kind of the high level of what I talked about with Dr. Rylem. I've really been engaged with the idea, and it's been my I should really go to bed. No, in like 10 minutes I'll go to bed kind of idea. So because I do research, the thing that I do and put off going to bed to do, I get to wake up and do for work. I love that part of Starfleet. That's just the best. Amazing. Also repeatedly pushing off of the ceiling.
Yes, of course. You and Joshana are near the top of the room where her desk is. And yeah, there's a holographic display actually from the ceiling that's extending down, and you both are kind of floating around it and kind of working things out. And she's helping you to hone some of these pathways that you're trying to get nice and tidy for the new Ross build. And in comes one Lieutenant Tovaa Kaz, perhaps?
What? Yeah, the door's open. And she's immediately talking. Just, like, finds you, locks eyes. Okay. And she kind of, like, jumps up a little bit to be up high. I'm still me, right? And just like, floats up into your, like, view. Right? That's how this works? I'm still Tovaa. Like, despite all of it. I'm still mad at you.
Would you give us a moment?
Oh, of course. And Joshana pushes off, floats away.
These are just like kind of like floating a little bit in the middle of the room.
Right, all right, now that we've established your ongoing vexation.
Yes.
Yes, you're still you. Is there a particular you to which you refer?
To me, the host, Tovaa. I'm still Tovaa. Despite the all new, I'm also that, but like I'm still Tovaa. Yes?
Yes,
that's how this works.
Of course.
Okay. I've had several very, to use your word, vexing conversations. And again, mad that you thought that you had to be in pain alone, but that's fine. We can deal with that later. I think,
Are you okay? Do you wanna?
Maybe,
yeah. I'll pull on that, hollow projector to pull myself back up to the ceiling and give a good kick off toward an office in the back. You know, the kind with the door.
If you are amenable, I think Tovaa ends up with a glass of raspberry hibiscus tea, because that is a habit she picked up from her very dear friend that has become a staple.
Yeah, I'd fuck the tea.
Yeah.
Isn't that Valith's drink?
That's where I got it from. Speaking of which, I think I have maybe shouted at a superior officer who wants me maybe transferred off the station, and then had been offering to do that, and then now I'm actively not doing that. I think just to spite him, because he's my very best friend, and I think it's in that way that you won't the way you hurt people you love in the only way that you can, and I think it's maybe bad. And I'm still mad at him because he thinks I'm not me, and I am, and I'm very sure, and I wasn't sure for a second, and then I talked to Rylem earlier, and he asked a question about a thing, and I was very confident in that moment that I am still me, and that's why I do the things that I do, and that's why I'm not flying like Kimbic, or teaching about hypothetical work mechanics like Benway, or doing art like Metzi. Like, I am Tovaa, and that's why I work in salvage, and I am Tovaa. I am still Tovaa, and I think I needed a quick confirmation from someone who knows what I'm talking about, so that I feel a little bit less like I'm losing it. That probably doesn't make any sense. Hi.
No.
I hope you're having a nice day. Sorry for yelling.
It makes perfect sense. See? Hibiscus. At least 3 breaths. Now, let me see if I've caught this. Wild breaths.
Exaggerated.
You, Tovaa, knew Veluth.
Yeah.
And we're close enough friends that... T.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't think you're Tovaa anymore. He didn't mention.
Yeah, the word he used was, the phrase he used was, he had mourned me.
Has he read a book?
I think the ones in his office are just for show. At this point, I don't know.
That's not fair of me. We have a wealth of different cultures he couldn't possibly have learned about. His very close friends. And you were worried he's going to transfer you?
Less worry and more, I think I goaded him into it, and now I'm actively fighting him on it, because I don't actually want to go. So, yeah.
You want to stay here?
Yeah. I like it here.
Okay.
And before you have spiraling thoughts, I don't want either of us to have to leave. There's no reason. We haven't even had a chance to talk about it for real. And I think that it's kind of messed up that someone should get forced to leave for any reason. It's very silly. Anyways.
Yeah, I'd like to get to know you too, Tovaa.
I'd like that. But we do, unfortunately, I may have made whatever HR meeting is inevitable, maybe a little bit worse by using a decade of friendship to bite him a little bit, bite his head off.
He said he mourned you.
Right? That's messed up.
Yes.
And I know it's not like, I know it's not actively malicious that he's trying to protect him or me or something, but I think
How many times did we talk about intent and impact when it affected us?
Yeah. He knew me when I didn't want to apply to join, and I don't think he ever let that go.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah. When you grow up in a family where everyone joins, I didn't really have a choice, but I didn't want to be joined just because they were, and I didn't think I had any applicable or exciting life skills to bring to a symbiont, especially one that I ended up with one who's so old.
Hey,
but
we're classic.
Vintage.
Antique. A little bit. Do you regret it?
I mean, the past 2 months have been very confusing and strange, but I think I have been so in my head about it, I haven't even had a chance to be me now. And I've just, the last, few days have made me really want to try to be me now. And I think I want to maybe fight about it a little. I don't know. Benway Kaz was kind of a jerk. I've just brought actually some of his intel to Reon, but and I think a little bit of him is I don't know, it's interesting being able to pinpoint stuff now, because I was, Tovaa, I was not a very confident person, very high-strung, very anxious, and I'm... now it comes out a little bit, but very much, and now there's stuff, there's new foundation, there's new strength in. There's a little bit of petty that I don't think comes from Tovaa. I'm pretty
No.
sure that was. I think you might be familiar with that that particular host, but yeah. So sorry about whatever meeting we surely will have to deal with. But
so, you want to do this together?
ride or die, I guess, even though I didn't know until recently. But I think it still stands.
Ride and die. And then go again.
Well, that was Kimbic, so.
Come on. Let's go keep your job, Z. I need to get to know who the hell Benway was.
Oh, you don't want to know Benway. I think the door opens.
You'd be surprised. Tie to Kamenuk.
Kamenuk here.
Is the commander available?
Let me check.
Check the book.
Oh.
Please.
Commander Veluth has no current appointments.
Perfect.
Actually, his entire afternoon is free. As far as I know.
Excellent. Please put in a humanoid resources appointment. In 5 minutes. We're on our way.
Noted. Kamenuk out.
Well, then now to book in the first episode, we need to show up sooner than 5 minutes.
Veluth, you get an immediate ping on your calendar.
No. Kamala, can I have you report to the office, please?
Yes, Commander. The side office opens. Shh. In steps Kamenuk.
In the future, I would have you request whether I have new meetings added. Just to avoid any possible conflicts.
I apologize. I didn't realize you had another conflict right now. Should I cancel?
This is going to happen sooner or later. I suppose it's only logical to just get to the heart of the matter.
Commander, may I ask, you have 2 Trill who seem to be very engaged with you right now. They requested a human resources meeting, but is this a personal matter? Would you like me to leave?
No, this is... Kamenuk, you are aware of Trill joining ritual, are you not?
Passingly familiar, yes.
That is all.
Do you want me to stay?
I am going to give you something that I wish that I could have, Kamenuk. I'm going to give you the ability to be far away from this office. I would take it.
Commander, if you don't mind, I will stay in my back office during this meeting. I will not be present. I will not listen in, but I will be there if you need me. If that is all right with you.
That'll be fine, Kamenuk. I imagine that they can't be too far now, so I would recommend you going to your office and beginning your day's work.
Commander Veluth, I must say, you are making me nervous. You have the demeanor of a Klingon warrior who knows that death is coming.
I suppose that is an apt analogy. I would have you send word to the following individuals. To Veevee, to Reon, that in an hour's time I would like them to join me in my office, as I have a assignment that I can only trust them to accomplish, and the ones that are coming.
So adding to this meeting in 1 hour.
In 1 hour.
Is this the same topic?
No, it's most certainly not. And by doing it this way, I give the two coming a time limit on how long this conversation can go.
I see. If they wish to actually kill you, they will have to do it within 1 hour. Got it. If you need me, please call for me. As you know, I always keep my daggers on me. And he turns and goes into the back room.
Can we be in the antechamber as he opens the door?
It's actually a different room, but you can be at that door and there's a ding, which Kamenuk turns towards Veluth and says, "Would you like me to open it?"
I would recommend that you go in your office. And Veluth gets up to open the door himself.
Okay.
Remember me how I lived. Ty?
Commander,
Yes?
it's so gracious of you to meet us on such short notice.
I think I just want to throw this out there, and Sam, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the two of them have a demeanor and posture that is not unfamiliar, but not normally at the forefront of either of them. Just like
agree.
a stance, like like they are pulling from a shared point in history in which the two of them are very comfortable having each other's back, and it is, again, not completely unfamiliar, but it has not been the front.
And certainly not with the two of them. Each of them has had aspects of this body language, perhaps, but certainly not in sync.
Yeah.
And I think they move together a little better.
Yeah.
That there's the pulling out, I know exactly which way you're going to move to sit in this chair, sort of pull it.
Yep.
Please come in. I know that there is no fortification that I could ever employ that would keep you out of my calendar, Ty, so I look forward to this meeting. Can I offer you water or tea?
Oh, I'd love some tea, thank you.
Tea sounds good.
I should try some of this raspberry hibiscus. It seems so popular lately. I just found out how so.
The accumulation.
Oh, the meeting is in 1 hour. Not yet. Oh my God, really? Tell us about them. Who are they?
More about it, but I think we met someone. If y'all are okay with it, obviously. 'Cause,
Well,
we
like,
have
You have to send us pictures and tell us all about them. Are they nice? Are they weird? Are they cool?
They are both nice and weird, and also I think cool. Also, I think there might be someone on the ship that I'm kind of into, but we'll figure that out later because they might not be into me, but also it's been really nice to hang out and whatever.
Wait, should we all try to visit and meet these new people? I mean, I could take some time off from work. I mean, I've got nothing to do.
Would you want to come on the ship?
I won't be able to come, but like I can video in. I'll be there.
I have met some really good friends. I would love nothing more for y'all to meet. And also, I guess this is the best time for me to ask. And I know I've been away. I've been working on this. But now that I have all 30 of you up on these screens, and Veevee gets down on one knee, I would like to ask if all of you would like to. Would you want to bond with me and officially start our families?
Veevee, we've been waiting for you to want to take this to the next level. Of course.
Thank you. I've been waiting because I know I've been so immersed in my life with working on building and designing here on Utopia Planitia, but I want you to meet all of my friends. I want all of you to meet my friends and for them to see how important you are to me. But I want to ask each of you individually, and then Veevee goes through like 1.
Yeah, so
2. 3,
that is
4.
going to take the hour that you have before this meeting. So meanwhile, back in Veluth's office. This conversation continues.
Computer 3 raspberry hibiscus tea, please. So, I'm aware that the two of you seem to be presenting a unified front. So, can I ask the purpose of this meeting?
I believe you were the one who wanted to have a sit down with both of us, so...
To be scheduled later, but I seem to have stumbled into this meeting being assigned for me, so I thought that there might be something that you would like to present. But if you're interested in what I was going to present when the time
Are you really
came,
trying to get Tovaa transferred?
Yes.
Why? On what grounds, Commander?
Initially, when I was stationed here and I saw the personnel log, I did not find having someone that I associated with before on the station to be something that would make the transition into my new role as commander one that would be easier. So for group cohesion, I made the request that Tovaa Cass be stationed elsewhere. My request was denied, and now I see that there are personal conflicts with personnel other than myself. I am unaware of how this is generally handled within Trill Society, so I've reached out to a Trill consultant to gain further insight.
Instead of listening to the ones who live here?
We practically have a millennium of being Trill between the two of us.
Yes, but I can't trust that your advice would be unbiased. And so I brought in a unbiased third party.
About our experiences. Just to be clear, Commander.
About protocol for how this would be handled, or how this should be handled by Federation.
I wasn't aware that the Federation made a habit of interfering in the cultural particulars of its member species. Is that something you're doing alongside attempting to transfer personnel on the basis of your personal sentiment? Did you really say that in front of both of us just now with words? What is going on here?
I will wait until you are ready for an answer.
I'm gonna outlive you.
Trill, perhaps. I'm unsure about your host. I understand that this is a situation in which we find ourselves in much discomfort, and I, for what it is worth, apologize for any discomfort that I may have injected into your lives, and I can assure you that none of this is malice. I am simply trying to find the best way to handle what seems to be a distracting issue so that this station can again run flawlessly. As you can see, we have a multitude of issues to deal with, and we simply do not have the time for this.
And it should be a non-issue. There shouldn't be an issue here, and the fact that we're spending time on it is ridiculous.
Time that, if I recall, you put on my schedule.
Yes, because you're making it an issue. We would like it resolved as soon as possible so we can do our damn jobs. That, again, we would like to remain doing here on Mars.
Are you certain this time?
Yes.
Okay. Just so that we are all on the same standing, this will be the third answer to that question that I have heard from you, I believe. Before, you requested to leave, then you decided to stay, and now it seems that you've confirmed that you've decided to stay. I'm glad that we are now beginning to see some consistency. I do have another meeting that is planned for something of substance. We have the body of a herald that we've discovered outside of Utopia Planitia, and I do believe that despite the distraction of this personal issue, that you are two of my best, and I would see that we get the job done of rescuing anyone that may need our assistance, as is the Federation's way. Are there any other questions or concerns that I might be able to answer?
Yes, just so I'm clear, are you planning any further unilateral action against either of us, and on what grounds? Any performance complaints with these distractions? And are you going to keep interfering in our professional lives because of personal business, Commander?
I fail to see in which way I have interfered in your personal life.
Telling someone that they're going to be transferred is some interference.
Well, Ty, I do recall a situation in which Tovaa was endangered by an entity that we did not know, according to protocol and according to your command, according to a highly ranked officer. We plan to go about rescuing Tovaa through a plan that was, in my opinion, well thought out, and there was quite a bit of pushback from you that I do believe can only be attributed to your personal relation to this individual.
Oh, I will bring that in front of a Starfleet tribunal every single day. If you... You know, I have genuinely respected your professional leadership. No, I have. It's not just that I enjoy your company, or that you are a thoughtful and considerate person. Thank you, by the way, for those photos. They're absolutely lovely and very heartfelt. But when it comes to us, no, when it comes to Tovaa, I don't see that commander. And that is not a personal or trivial issue because, as you just point out, you depend on her. And we all depend on you. So if there is, and I know it is a sensitive term, an emotional issue that needs to be resolved, I'd rather we take care of that and take care of both of you.
I believe I have said everything that needs to be said.
He was invited to be part of this because we're one of the last people that are available on the ship, right?
There's a meeting happening in an hour that Veevee's invited to, but if Veevee wants to burst in a little early...
If that is okay with everyone.
Oh, do it, please, 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 please.
So, Veevee, I think, walks in and hears a lot of that, and I think Veevee, goes to Valoof and says,
I believe you're a little early, Veevee.
I think an empath arrives just when she wants to. And Veevee goes to Valoof and says, I think you aren't giving them your honesty and your truth, and I'm gonna ask your permission. Can I show them who you are?
I have showed them who I am. You are early, Veevee. I have nothing further to say. This is getting out of hand, and if I have to pull...
Valoof. Sure. And then Veevee puts her hand up on Valoof's temple and says, can I show them who you are?
I think he's just glaring at you at this point.
Yeah,
probably.
Tovaa is like laser beam staring at you, trying to get you to look up at her, and just says, "What about the other way around?
I agree.
What if I show you who I am?"
And then so Veevee puts her other hand on Tovaa. So one hand on Tovaa's temple, and a hand on that temple, and goes, everyone just needs to chill the fuck out and smash. Veevee uses her uses her earthly words to uncover her everything else empathy, just to show people that you don't know what everything is. And her elbows are out. She's reaching in, and she is reaching not anything invasive, just fucking vibes, man. Just the vibes of both of them trying to reach into each other. You're gonna make me roll for it, so.
Valoof is gonna soften and let it just go. If this will end the meeting, then fine.
I mean, we all hate meetings, but...
Is anyone opposing this?
No.
So just
then I'm not going to have you roll for it, actually.
Oh.
Can I put us in a...
That's really sweet. I'm sorry. That's really sweet. So just reaching in and just fucking can we get our stuff together? Because we're all like, and just that. And Veevee kind of also looks at Doc and is like reaching her elbow out to be like, hey Doc, if we want to like touch and get in on this.
Tova holds out a hand to you if you don't want, even if whether or not you want to join the thing or not, she will just kind of like reach her.
It's an option.
Both.
So that's what is happening right now. Is Veevee is reaching out her empathy so everyone can feel what everyone is feeling right now.
If it is possible, could I put us in like a brain space, like a little kind of thought palace,
like a brain rave,
like a little bit of brain rave.
Yeah, I'm gonna say with the combo of Veevee's ESP and Veluth's abilities for mind melds, yeah, I think it naturally is gonna kind of go to that space, and of course with the two Trill, obviously with having such a strong connection, yeah, you all are kind of brought into this space.
Sam, you can cut me off if you don't. In my head, I am envisioning kind of just like a empty, not empty because there's stars, like a starscape where we end up like standing, like there is a solid ground, but you can't see anything around. And Veluth is kind of with Veevee up front, and in front of you there are two lines of individuals of Tairo and Kaz from the first who are in front of you. And I don't know if our lines are perfectly even. I don't remember exactly how many. I have a dozen.
We wouldn't have ever been able to compare.
Exactly. We have no idea. So there are, on the Kaz line, there are 12.
Yeah, they're all standing askew relative.
Yes.
Like, I mean,
they're not the same
honestly.
timeline. No, yeah, they're a little different, but
can't just roast.
And I think there's just, I don't necessarily think there's like conversations to be had unless you really are desperate for one. But I don't know if Veluth is. But you kind of get the understanding. They kind of like flip through these individuals, and on the Kaz side, you are sort of become aware of Kimbit Kaz, who was a pilot and died flying. The happiest she'd ever been. You get Rylem Kaz, who was a later in life host, who was an emergency field join after Kimbit's crash, was never supposed to be a host, but had to. There's Leve Kaz, who was a warp core specialist and lived a long and happy joined life. There's Shay Kaz, who is an orbital station in architectural design, who also lived a full, long, happy joined life. There's Somi Kaz, who was only joined for 3 years because their host became ill, and there was a late symbiont rejection. And then there's Tyrion Kaz. That one I think is hovered longest. That one aligns perfectly.
And they hold hands.
And they are holding hands with one of the Tairo hosts. And they lived a long, 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 happy joined life. And are there flashes that you would like them to see from that particular lifetime, Sam?
Like a flash, like a scene?
If there's one. If there's one that you think of.
If we're in this sort of abyss and it looks like they are standing side by side, if you pass them, it's like one of those angle the picture changes graphic where you can see them having kicky legs above a cliff, above these stars, below these stars, still holding hands.
Lifetime, you get the impression.
And yeah, so unless everyone else has more scenes they would like to add.
Very, very quickly was just one, because I know Veluth will recognize this one. I think you'll get a recognition. Metzi Kaz, the follow-up to Tyrion, the poet and sculptor, Willis, and then Tanzo, and Erlanu, and Mazi Kaz, and Benway Kaz, and then we end on Tovaa and Soselle and you, in front of Tovaa, feel all of her. You have known her for so much of her life that I think it is just that she is just a warm person, and I think from the moment they met, you see the gallery in Chicago, and you see from her perspective, not this dreary, rainy night, this bright spot in a terrible day. She had walking through the rain, coming out kind of soaking wet from an event she didn't want to be at with her parents and family who make her wildly uncomfortable, and seeing this bright lit up gallery and the color and a friend she was about to make. And you see that and their pen pal, I think you feel all of it, their entire friendship. And then she is in front of you again. And if there's anything that Ty wanted to bring into any of those two, that is what you get on the Kaz side.
Oh, if Soselle Ty is trying to pass by the ones closer to us after the handshake, to try to see these Kazes.
The ones you didn't get to know.
Then, if you will both permit it, I'll see a little of that image change and just the littlest bit of that gallery together.
Yeah. I guess there's one thing that you guys will see, and you can tell this is the thing that Veluth has been holding on to the tightest, which is just before he went to the gallery. His mother, the Vulcan, she goes, you really ought to consider the Kalinar. It will help you in your endeavors, especially if you do make your way to Starfleet. It will be quite useful. And Veluth goes, thank you, Mother. As always, the answer will remain no. I have a burgeoning career as quite the artist, you would know. And then we go to the gallery, and then we see Tovaa. Then we kind of fast forward to just moments where Veluth is talking to Tovaa about the joining and saying basically that they would not want to partake in that. But when you hear it from Veluth's perspective, it's always about the Kalinar. It's always about the Kalinar. So it's kind of reinforcing, like,
this thing you were supposed to do that you didn't
and
want.
And the thought that is being held the tightest, I'd imagine it would represent itself in a lockbox in this brain space. Finally opens up, and it's just a yell. We were supposed to be the outcast together.
What?
I think the two of them are standing in front of this box. And the others can be there still, but I think they're not visible to us. Oh.
I think Veevee, is overcome with emotion, has recognized that maybe she has gone farther than I think her friendship and consent would allow her to, into a place where Veluth is not ready to talk about that yet. So Veevee is like, okay, well, we're all gonna fucking go. And so Veevee is like, we're gonna pull back because Veevee doesn't wanna,
give them just a moment.
We can't hear. I think we cannot hear or see either of you right now.
So Ty will just put their hand on Veevee's arm. I think they've got this. And we'll sort of guide her away from that screen, maybe just like up the line of Madairos. Oh, maybe just pausing a moment at this weird off angle between Torvi and Metsikaz.
Thank you.
This is... They need this.
And if they consent to this, if they like it, I love it, babe.
They're not coming out, so that's some flavor
they're
of a
not.
yes.
They're like literally gonna do this forever. You want to go bounce around in the med bay while they have feelings? Because I can still project this out while they have feelings and lead around in the med bay.
I look back at Torvi and Metzi, and it just looks like a very, very, very old woman pulling off a surgical mask with Metzi in the background and an incision stitched up.
Mm-hmm.
Young guy that time.
Mm-hmm.
As they leave. I need this too.
Yeah, you do.
Now, rest my head on your shoulder if you'll allow it while they have their moment.
100%. But also, I'm going to extend my field out so they can still have this moment. So, we can still, like, bounce around the med bay. But no.
Actually, I think Volooth might be tearing himself out of it pretty soon here.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly.
You want to be back in the office?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think one of the last things he will say is I found comfort in our mutual fear of what our people expect of us. It was useful comfort.
I know. I remember.
I apologize for allowing this to color the way that I approach being your commander.
I don't care how you want to be my commander, Volooth. You can be the biggest hard ass on frickin' Mars. You can be the biggest jerk boss in the entire freaking galaxy. I only care about how you want to be my friend, man. I want my best friend back. I swear I never went anywhere. And I know I kind of did leave you hanging a little bit. I don't think I really ever... I don't think we talked after I joined. And that was, maybe not the best call.
I could not bear to hate you. So I chose to mourn you.
You ever thought about raising the dead? Is that on the table?
I've thought about the Kalinar.
Because of me or because of you?
He doesn't say anything, but in this space you hear, because of us. My father says that in order to remove emotional pain, one has to accept it and go through it. My mother says that emotional pain is simply a distraction and it is best and logical to refuse to acknowledge it and focus on the things that matter.
Your best friend Tovaa says you gotta stop hiding behind Tovaa and figure out what you really want. You know I've got your back, but if that's what you want to do, it should be your choice. And I know I didn't really do this in a way that is conducive to that. But I didn't want to apply to join because I was scared that they wouldn't want me. Because what do I have to offer to 11 lifetimes? I pull ships apart. I work in a scrapyard. And for the longest time, I thought that they picked me because my whole family gets joined. That's just what we do. But now I don't think it's that pointed. I think it was just time for Cass to have a break, and that was me. And so I never had an opinion about whether or not I wanted to join. I just had fear. I was afraid. And I never made that choice, but once it was what was happening, I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to being Tovaa with a little extra. And I'd love it if you wanted that too. But as far as your decision, it should be because of you and not because of us, or because of me, or because of your mother, or because of Vulcan as a whole.
I do not know what I want, but I do know what I am willing to try.
Sushi?
Looks around, makes sure that it's just two. It just goes, God, no.
I still can't get you. 10 years later, you still won't try it. I'll get you there.
There is a reason that food is cooked. Shakes your head.
I think if you're good with this, I think we melt back into your... Like, I think the black space kind of melts away. I think we're alone in your office. If you're okay with that.
Yeah.
I promise you that I'm still me. That's all I can offer. That's the only thing I can give you.
Tovaa, I'm almost certain that... I've always known that it was you. I was just hoping that it was not.
Coward. She grins at you.
Asshole.
There he is.
Okay, I have the following people come to my quarters. Office. Shut up.
Hey, it's not my fault. That's not my fault you made a typo in the group chat.
Please report quickly.
And
Tie to Commander, I'm at your quarters. No one's here.
With that, actually, at that moment, I'm going to say that the back room door shifts open, and Commander comes out with 2 daggers. Commander, are you safe?
I think for the first time, you just see Valoof laughing. just
you broke him. Commander.
I've never seen any Vulcan laugh.
He's a funny guy. I see y'all. His little commander badge has stifled his budding comedy career. I don't know what y'all are doing to him over here. Man needs a break.
Kamenuk spins his daggers back into his pockets. Well, I'm glad that this ended in mirth and not bloodshed.
Oh,
and he looks at you, Tovaa.
I mean, we could still do that.
No, I can assure you there is no need for bloodshed. And
no blood sport? No? Okay.
Kamenuk, I have told you this time and time again, though I sincerely doubt that it will ever take. Phasers will always be more effective than daggers.
I disagree, but I respect your opinion, Commander.
I heard bloodshed.
Yeah, with that, the door opens. And everyone else piles back in.
I'll just pick up the raspberry hibiscus tea from the previous meeting. And I will pull out a seat for Veevee, and I will take one next to... I will hover next to one next to Kaz.
Okay.
I think you get a look from her that is just like a everything's okay, kind of a nod, and I think you just for that second, you just see Tyrion. Like it's that like a quirk of the eyebrow kind of a thing, and like a quick nod.
Veevee takes the seat that was obviously provided for her. And then does that thing where, when you're around your friends and it's clear they're going to get fucking back together, and they're doing that thing and it's like, oh, Jesus, I don't want to hear about this anymore. But you want to be but you're happy because they actually did like each other and they're better together. Veevee's doing that eye thing where she's just like, I'm very happy for you. And she's being very silent about it, obviously, because they're still pretending they're not going to get back together. But
that has never been discussed, so don't make everybody needs to stop making decisions for Tovaa. She has not made
no one is making decisions for you. We're just all queer. And so we know what that looks like. And that is also why we don't make decisions, because it's it might be wrong. But also, I'm just gonna... Maybe it's just looking and being like, look, if they get back together, that's because they like it. And if they like it, I love it. But look, I'm too queer to get inside of queer drama. I can't get in between they, them drama. Look, I have done that as a person. I will not, Veevee is very much has her 30 partners. And it's you know what? We all know what's going to happen. They're going to figure it out or they're not going to figure it out. But also, I like them together. But also, I can't force it. And so Veevee is very much sitting down, minding her own business, but a little bit being hey, how you feeling?
Oh, well, hello, everyone. Thank you for coming so quickly to my office and not my quarters, as I mistakenly said.
I understood what you meant. Ensign Qila hurries into the room with a data
that
pad.
Makes one of us. Shame.
And takes a seat.
My best friend is here.
Hi.
Well,
Hi.
Very quickly, to put a focus on this, I summoned you all here because you are the very best at what you do, and I have need of all of your skills. Yes, even yours, Reon. There has been a body found on the outskirts of our station. A herald corpse. I'm sure that everyone has heard the rumors. We have been instructed to initiate a lockdown of the station.
Reon walks in. Sorry I'm late. I just come walking in with the data pad.
Yeah.
Everything moving forward?
Everything is moving forward.
We just started. You're just on time.
And I'm sure Qila will be able to catch you up with everything that has transpired before. But I want
what has transpired? Sorry. Go ahead, Commander.
No, of course. The herald body that was found.
I have all the intelligence on that. But go ahead, Commander.
Well, Ty suggested, and I agreed, that we initiate a rescue attempt near the wreckage where the body was found. Be it a Federation civilian or a herald, if they are in need, I believe that we should make the effort to extend that hand. And all of you have varying specializations that may come in useful for this rescue. So, that's the plan. We will have the investigators' men joining us on this rescue mission. They should be here shortly. Are there any questions, concerns, or insights that you would like to share? Because now is the time.
I have some insight, actually. If you're all ready for it.
Yes.
Okay, I knew this was your meeting, so I didn't want to just jump in with this, but I am intelligent.
This is a security issue, so please, I cede to you.
Yes. So since the body of this herald was found, our intelligence team did some looking around, footage and what we could see from that area and the areas near Utopia Planitia, close to where the body was found, and we found some things. Also, though, I don't want to alarm you all, but we found some things after the body was found as well. And she pulls up she actually transfers from her own personal pad to your hollow pad on your desk that emits upward into the middle of the room footage. And there's lots of different footages, and you can just kind of scroll through them / make one take over and then minimize that and bring another one out. All of these are different videos from different times over the past year. Dark passages, middle of the night, Utopia Planitia locations that are not very well frequented at night. Hooded, tall, lean figure lurking, breaking into a cabinet, taking out rations, replicator materials, and sneaking out into different cubby holes and ways. Never, ever is the face captured. But, again, two things. Some of them are from before the body was found, and some of them are as recent as 2 nights ago.
They need supplies.
You think this food thief is somehow connected to this Iconian?
What's the... They're very, very tall, aren't they, Iconians?
They are.
Does this, from the footage, can we gauge, this might be a...
Oh, yeah.
That type of... Okay.
It looks like a tall, slender herald type of body shape. Absolutely.
It's a herald. It should be neutralized immediately.
We're not at war.
I think so, too.
Again, not at war.
We are not at war. The Iconians are.
Well, we should ask them. Find out pretty quick if they start firing at us. Maybe they just need help.
I think that we should pay attention to people who might need help instead of immediately going in and declaring war and shooting. That's not who we are.
I agree. And that is why I assembled each and every last one of you. V, your ability to extend your empathy will be quite useful. Ty, I can't think of anyone more qualified to be able to decipher what it is that they might need or how to help them. Tovaa, if they're reaching out for our replicator material, chances are that theirs are broken. And they will need an outstanding mechanic, and I can't think of anyone better. And Reon, if they're stuck here, they will need a way back home. And I can't imagine putting a better mind on this than you.
You should be handed over to Starfleet Intelligence.
You are Starfleet Intelligence, right?
No.
I am.
Qila.
That's me, actually.
It's likely that they should be either imprisoned until they can be returned to their government, or...
That is not what we do on Starfleet. I didn't join Starfleet for that. We take care of people. It seems like they're low on resources, am I right?
If we discover that they are, in fact, criminals, then we will follow protocol and have them put in the brig immediately.
Also,
I'm so sorry, I cut you off, Reon.
Oh.
I was just wondering if anyone here is familiar with who the Heralds are and what they are?
Yes. Yep.
I don't
Qila?
disagree with baselining for compassion. I myself have greatly benefited off of people not succumbing to their impulses to succumb to their fears and prejudice against something that has been a mortal enemy of the Federation. The Iconians are the Jem'Hadar, but 200,000 years older and even more steeped in indoctrination and manipulation, technological and genetic manipulation. They are weapons that walk around and do as they are bid by their masters. If you wish to imprison this thing, I'm not going to try to intercept any of you, but I just want you to all be very aware that this is not the same as negotiating with a lost Borg drone.
It could be.
You are correct, and I have read many of the reports from Captain Benjamin Sisko in dealing with the Jem'Hadar. There had been, as I recall, many attempts to extend a hand of friendship only to be then turned away. There were slight successes in the end. I believe that if there were anyone that could turn a bitter enemy into a friend, it may be us. But we are going to follow protocol. If they are wanted by the Federation, or if they do lash out in any malicious way, we will send them to the brig or deal with them in any manner that is necessary.
Aye, Commander. When should we expect the investigators?
Soon.
Veluth, did you invite them to this meeting, or?
I invited them to the station. I never gave them the specifics. So when they couldn't get to the station, they'll let us know. And I did want to invite them to the meeting so that we could have our home team
pre-meeting.
Oh, like they come after, like they got the time, like 30 minutes after.
15-minute offset. Yep.
I'm not wording well today.
It's all right. You just got beat up by a couple Trill and went through a brain rave.
Out of you. Yeah, you're good.
But yeah.
Yes, so they are your station investigators, just to clarify. So they, like we can say that we can say that you invited them to come at some point later in the meeting. Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, so there's Bell.
Start getting the like ground vehicles ready. I have access to all those. Also, one of Kaz's specialties is ground vehicles.
Door chimes.
Well, you asked when they would be here? It would appear that the answer is now. Kamanuk, if you could let our guest in.
Yes, Commander. Goes over to the door.
Without the daggers.
They are. I have put them away.
Okay.
For now.
What were daggers doing here?
Bloodshed.
And Kamanuk goes over to the door and opens it. Shh. And you see this team of 4 operations, the investigative team. Eve, the Andorian, I almost said android, the Andorian lead investigator of Utopia Planitia, walks in with 3 field investigators behind him. She says, "Okay, is this the team?"
This is the team.
All right.
Veevee looks at them and says, like, when's the last time that I understand that we have like a thing, but what was the last mission you went on? I want to know.
Who are you asking this?
Of the team that has showed up.
Okay.
Mission? I'm a civilian. My last mission.
Oh no!
Wrong team. The investigators who just walked in.
The investigators.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I was
Yeah,
like,
all of us are a little confused.
I graduated from college. Okay.
Yeah. I graduated with a Borg in college.
Yeah.
Majoring
in
Borg.
No. So this is like
Operation Keg Stand.
But Veevee is like, hey, so you're coming in. We've been kind of doing cool without you. Why are you here? And what is your objective?
Apologies for... sorry. Yes, you were.
No, yeah, I can answer that. I'm the lead investigator of Utopia Planitia. It is my job to secure the site and investigate any strange things that happen, including the bodies of heralds that should not be on this planet because the war that they were here for was over 4 years ago. That's why I'm here. So my objective is to secure the station and make sure if there are any other heralds here, they are also secured.
And so, what will you do with those heralds or other people? Like, peacefully secure them, or what is your objective?
My objective is to investigate and secure, and I am not the jury or the judge, certainly not the executioner, but if I get shot at, if my team gets shot at, if any of you get shot at, we're here to back you up. These are actually security. This is my security team for investigations when I need backup. Does that answer your question?
Well, we don't go in expecting that we're going to get shot at or someone's going to shoot at us, right?
Do you know what a herald is? Does anyone here know what a herald is?
Yes, I have full knowledge of the construct weapon that is the herald.
Then yes, we could get shot at.
They are automatons. They essentially function as weapons of the Iconians.
They are not automatons, actually. They are genetically bred species, but they are sentient. They are people. They just are.
I misunderstood. I thought heralds were non-intelligent.
No.
Automatonic. Oh, well, then I don't know what a herald is.
It's all right. We're here to make sure we're all on the same page. That's why your commander here invited us to this meeting as well.
And so we're gonna make sure we take care of the humanoids that might be brainwashed.
If I may, I would like to set a baseline for both teams. We are not going in expecting to commit any wanton, needless, or reckless violence. We will only meet fire with fire, and we will only initiate violence as much as we need to protect ourselves and subdue our foes.
Thank you.
With every intention of bringing them back alive, and in the brig if need be, or to the med bay if necessary. I will not sanction, lead, or take any part in any massacre, violence, or genocide. That is not what the Federation is. That is not who I am. And that is not who anyone on any team that I participate will be taking part in.
Phaser sent to stun?
Until ordered otherwise.
Well said, Commander.
Thank you, Commander.
They try to hide it behind their hand a little that they're the ones saying it, just to sort of get the sentiment out into the crowd.
Well said, Commander.
Reon's looking around wondering who was suggesting their slaughter. He's glancing around a little nervously at some of the Starfleet officers who've walked in
Oh no. so I think Valouf was just picking up on Veevee's worry It is just like, oh, I'm just gonna answer to
being
that.
Thorough, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
It
was,
wasn't at all.
I was like, are
No
we
one-
a hit squad?
You would be the least well qualified hit squad ever to be.
Like,
Just vibes.
I,
Set to vibes. That's what
Phaser set to vibes. That's a t-shirt. Phaser set to vibes.
Phaser set to vibes.
Eve says no. We can all get behind that. Phaser set to sun. We will try to. We will assess the situation. We will not go in shooting. We will treat them with kindness at all, as much as possible. But also, my team is here to protect all of us if something bad happens.
Thank you.
Yes, and with the history that the Federation has had with the Herald, it makes absolute sense that the investigator and her, could I have your pronouns, please?
Oh, I'm he, him.
It would make sense that his security team would be protective. The relation between us has been that of strenuous conflict, let's say. But we have our goal, we have our team, we have our resources, and we can and will accomplish this successfully, and with very little, he says, looking at Commoduk, bloodshed. It's got to give me the Worf look.
Well, yeah, I'm going to look over at Commoduk as well, because I'm not sure if everybody else here realizes that the Iconians nearly destroyed Kronos.
Yep.
And so he just kind of glances over at the Klingon for a moment to just get a gauge how our Klingon friend is feeling about things. Making sure everything's on the level.
I mean, Kamenuk always has kind of an aggressive stance about him. But if you'd like to do it, this one I will say is difficulty 0.
I'll go ahead.
I can give you more. Yeah.
One success. Oh,
one
no.
success.
One success.
One success. Bank that momentum. And yeah, knowing the history of Klingons and the Iconians, but also, so yeah, you sense that Kamenuk. First of all, you've noticed more than any other time you've been in this office, Rylem. You notice that Kamenuk's hands have been hovering by where he keeps his daggers today. Just kind of like, that's a little weird. But also, yes, at the mention of the Heralds and the Iconians, Kamenuk has been very, very attentive, whereas normally Kamenuk would have his hands on his pad taking notes for the commander. So yes, there is a change in Kamenuk today. It seems like there's more going on than just the Iconians, perhaps. And then the final thing I'll say is... you would know this personally about Kamenuk, that he's not even a warrior, though. He doesn't, I mean, he came from a warrior class, but he chose a different life. So it's like these warring things going on in him where he's like, Klingon loyalty, Iconians, my commander, Trill, like there's a lot going on with Kamenuk right now.
Kind of why I was just like, I should check in on our Klingon friend here, because there's probably a lot going on inside right now.
There is. There absolutely is.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so
also, those missions are dope as heck.
Missions?
An
STO?
An STO, yeah.
Oh yeah, they're a lot of fun.
I've been watching gameplay videos of them, and it's like
mess you up though.
They have
an ability where
the wrong Trill.
They have the bitches who live for drama.
They have an ability to literally open a portal to the surface of a star and pull a solar flare from the portal and incinerate everybody around them.
That's the Iconians. And so what Rylem said before is true about how the Heralds do, they were genetically bred over, generations to serve the Iconians. That all is absolutely true.
It's super Dominion, basically.
Yeah, very Jem'Hadar to
mega Dominion.
Changeling, absolutely.
Yeah.
And also, just to remind you, last session, Ty, you and the commanding medical officer, chief medical officer, found some data about their DNA having been genetically bred over generations and generations. So yes, all of this.
No, that's that.
The math is mathing for sure.
Math do be mathing. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So, Eva says, Commander, we should make a plan about where we're going and what the mission is exactly.
That sounds good.
What is your instinct? Because I have some thoughts as well.
I'd love to hear your thoughts and we can expand on those. I have to confess, I lack understanding in military tactics. I am based in engineering and learning command. How I do, however, have many brilliant minds that may be able to take a look at your initial plan and find any flaws or ways to improve them.
All right. He pulls out a pad and once again takes over the hollow graphic emitter in the center of the room. And you see a map of Utopia Planitia and the outskirts, including the hill, the hiking hillside trail where this body was found, which is marked with an X. And Eva points to different locations and says, so, thanks to intelligence and Ensign Qila here, the footage that was pulled of the various intruders, we're not sure. It seems like we're not sure if it was just the same person. They all had the same build, if it was different people. But
I believe it may be best to make the assumption that there are multiple culprits.
We know that there's at least two, one dead and one who was seen as recent as 2 nights ago. So yes, you are correct. There's definitely more than one, possibly more than 2. But we have pinpointed the location that they've been entering, and it seems like there is a duct here that has not been sealed. They've been able to bypass the force field somehow. We have actually not investigated that yet because we want to leave that open if they decide to come back that way. We don't want to close that off because then we could easily trap them. Don't worry, trap them in a kind, nice way. He says that to Veevee. But he says, so my thinking would be we could send out, well, we're the team. We can go as a team down these ducts and just reverse engineer the way they keep coming in, hopefully find where they're coming from.
May I make a roll looking at some of this information?
Mm-hmm.
I understand. We have some basic video that gives movement speed, also any inferences about their biology from years of records during the war, modified by what we know from the degree of starvation found on the body, which I would infer was probably shared between the two of them. You don't have one eating all of the food and the other just being like, well, guess I'll starve. We know that they were in a shelter, and they had to be somewhere within range of being able to visit repeatedly. Looking at where the body was found and all of those factors, could I maybe put a picture together of some key locations that they might have taken that shelter?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to do a science.
Let's do a science. Cartology. Tarkography. Cartology doesn't exist. That's not a thing.
I will say you did specifically say reverse engineering, which is one of my focuses. Is there any way I can toss an assist on this?
Toss an assist on that.
All right. Yes, let's please have an assist roll. That has some ludonarrative consonants I find pleasing.
All right. So we're going to make this difficulty 2. Difficulty 2. For Ty, I feel like I'm
driving this mostly off of the metabolic. Honestly,
I
know I know their biology, I know their movement speed, I know how much fuel they were running on, and I know the conditions based on what we found from the shelter.
Reason medicine.
Fantastic.
And then for the assist, Tovaa Kaz. You said reverse engineering.
I literally threw out there because that's the wording you used.
No, it's perfect. Yeah. Which also, was like reverse reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, let me look at your sheet.
Engineering?
Reason. How are you helping, actually? Tell me more about how you're helping.
Well, with the specific, thing that you had been talking about at that point in time was that area they were breaking in through.
Mm-hmm.
If I think somehow, like you said, going, reverse engineering through that, how long could I assume it would take them to have to break through if they, to move through that space to be able to get themselves through a force field without alerting anybody? Is that anything that I could add a timeline to, or basically just looking at the part, the physical? I'm stretching this so far, so if I can't assist, that's also totally fine. But on any sort of structural standpoint of our
the force field, I would say let's narrow it down then to the force field.
Yeah.
So.
Looking at the specs of what we have here.
If this is an assist, if you could find the pathing, that would refine my if you have to burn a bunch of your energy by climbing through ducts, that would shorten the possible range that a starving herald would be it determines the search radius of appropriate locations based on the pathing you're able to figure out.
An understanding of the Jeffries tubes and finding their path.
Yeah, that's great. I was going to say too that it was feeling like a separate role. But we could do that.
I can do whatever you want.
We can do that next time because this will be the last roll of this session.
Okay, cool.
So go ahead and roll your reason medicine, and then for Tovaa, yes, I will say engineering because we're talking about Jeffries tubes and the layout of the the ducts and things like that. So
reason engineering.
Yeah, reason engineering.
May I deploy a value, please?
Which one?
Because I'm trying to save these folks, and kindness is never the wrong answer.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Difficulty 2. Okay.
I can roll humanoid biology into this, yes?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's what they are.
I can't put a value on an assist, right? Just because it's...
No, you can. Sorry.
I don't know if I can.
I think you can.
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I got 1 from the roll, but I'll pop a value on it too, just because I think for the sentiment of the episode, it's the final one. Better together, never alone.
Great. All right.
I think just to throw that on there, but I got 1 success from the die, and then
all right,
1 from
if you have that plus the determination that you spent plus the determination I spent and my rolls, I think that brings us up to a total of 8. Don't mess with 2 trill working together.
It just felt right.
You have filled the momentum till entirely.
We got stuff to do. We have a finale. We got to fill it up.
Yeah. So yes, the two of you, and you all actually watched without even looking at each other, without saying a word or even sharing a look, the 2 Trill party members step up to that holographic display and working together, moving around each other as if they have done this for many lifetimes. They put together a route. Actually, I'm going to say some potential routes.
Like a radius, basically. Like how far.
Yeah.
Like
key search spots.
Yeah. You find that, okay, so first of all, the point that it seemed like they were on video, they were caught coming through the ducts. That point is on the same side of the station as the hiking hill. That's point number 1 you get from this roll. You already knew that before the roll. Just laying down the foundation of knowledge. What you start to put together is that on the south side of the campus, so if that's the midpoint, that entry and where the hill is, you all are on the south side of this campus where all of your buildings are, the hab, everything that you have done so far, including salvage, has been on the south side. North of you is the warp testing fields, which is just open desert space where Reon's team and other teams will test warp drives and propulsions. Under that is Veevee. This is where you would start to recognize some things. the underground reservoir of ice that has been turned into a recreational center where Cove is the person who runs that. That's underneath the warp propulsion fields, way down. Now, pinpointing all of these locations on the map and where the hill is, where the entry point is, you realize that it's likely they were coming from way down below the surface. And there may have been some point between the ice reservoirs, Utopia Planitia, and the hill triangulating. That's probably where they were staying.
See, do you see this?
Well, that's certainly a place to start.
Oh, my whole lab's gonna get security audited for this, isn't it?
Maybe a little.
They're just gonna be looking through every single duct. They're gonna float through the ducts over my lab, and I'm not gonna warn them. They might be slightly under us.
And
feel like digging?
On everyone's reaction, let's dig. We end this session of Clear Skies Perseverance, episode 11.
To stop digging, no!
Oh, goodness. Join us next week for our last episode of the season. We're going to go dig for some heralds, I guess.
Oh.
Everyone, take care.
Spooky looking boys.
Yes.
Spooky?
They're spooky.
Heralds are terrifying.
Heralds are creepy looking.
Heralds
It's true.
are absolutely terrifying.
What
They
is
look
so
like
terrifying?
floating demonic technological.
Heralds were a mistake!
They're absolutely
All right.
terrifying.
And with that, thank you so much, y'all.
I love you all so much. I will talk to you all later. I will see you.
All right.
All right.
Good night,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
See you next week. Bye.